Hello, everyone. Welcome to Rock Talk Happy Hour. My name is Mario, here with Kimberly, Britt, and Frank. This is the podcast about craft beer and music, where every episode we try different craft beers, we rate them, discuss them, and sometimes we learn a little bit about them, all while talking music-related topics. Mm-hmm. Kim, what's today's music-related topic?
Oh, I knew it. LGBTQ artists.
Yep, artists and musicians. So, of course, you know, the artists as the artists or the musicians that are part of a band. So,
This is Pride Month.
Yeah, it's Pride Month.
Pride Month, yeah.
So, do you have anything to say about that or not? Because
I think tomorrow is our Pride Parade.
Yep.
Yeah.
Here in town. I don't know if other... Yeah, I think so, right? Like it's like a national thing happening tomorrow, I think.
I have no idea.
I actually have
because I know for sure it's happening here. Locally.
Yeah, definitely, it's gonna be here. Yeah. I guess I could say what I pulled up on Wikipedia because I don't know like the details or whatever. But it's so Pride Month is a 30-day long celebration. So LGBT Pride Month is typically in June, dedicated to celebration and commemoration of lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender pride. Pride Month began after the Stonewall riots, a series of gay liberation protests in 1969, and has since spread outside of the United States. So that's a little bit of the history on it. I don't know too much about those Stonewall riots, but I have heard some things about it here and there. My history is kind of weak on that, but
right. I mean, I wasn't saying right, like right.
Yeah. No, I got you.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna list off these and discuss some of these musicians and artists, and then we'll get into that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So first, before we kick off the topic, I have 3 little segments. I was gonna say 3 little piggies. But first segment is what are we drinking, which for the first time in a long time, I think. Yeah. Well, Kim had something, but she finished it
already.
She had her ranch water.
Yeah.
Britt, what are you drinking?
I am drinking another very light beer. And it's a Budweiser Select 55 calorie beer.
What the hell? You've never had that on the show before.
No, I don't think I have. But I saw it at the store today and.
Is it good?
I mean, you know, for a beer that light, yeah, it's not bad.
Okay.
I think I might like it better than the other. The
regular Budweiser?
No, the MGD 64.
Oh, MGD 64.
Okay. And this has 9 fewer calories. So.
What do you rate it?
4.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right. Did you buy like a 6-pack or did you buy like
I bought
single?
an 18-pack because they had it. That's
Damn,
what I committed big.
Wow, you did.
That's crazy.
Mario would even buy the 4-pack sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes I'm like, but then again, it's the craft beers, and it's like $20 for a 4-pack. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, like that. No, it's cheap beer. So
fortunately, we got lucky because 2 weeks ago we bought a 6-pack, I believe, of a s'mores stout. And of course, we don't do stouts, right? But it was really good. I've been drinking it, and I'm like, I'm glad I bought it. And then this one that I have right now, I didn't have a single either. I was like, I want to try it. So we bought a 6-pack, and I ended up liking it as well. It's from Dew Claw Brewing Co. It's called Sour Me America. It's a Rocket Pop Sour Ale. It's an ale brewed. Fun. Yeah, it's an ale brewed with tart cherry, raspberry, and lime. Mm-hmm. Okay. It's weird because I could send you home with one because I have another one in there. Cool. But it's good. Like it's just crazy because like Kim tried it. You don't really taste like the cherry. You don't really taste the raspberry. It tastes more limey, but it's not like strong.
Okay.
It is sour, but the sour is not strong. It's not like a Martin House sour.
Does it taste like a Rocket Pop?
Yeah. Not really.
No.
But it's a good sour though.
Okay.
Which is crazy. So I like it. I rated it a 3.5 on Untappd only because it doesn't taste like a Rocket Pop. It's just a good beer.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm drinking that right now. We had pizza earlier, so I was like, this is good with pizza. So
yeah.
Cool.
But yeah, so that's that. We'll have a beer shortly. All of us will have a beer shortly. Frank, what are you drinking?
For now, I'm just drinking an Arizona tea.
Cool.
Yeah, the herbal tonic ones.
Man, I've been wanting. I wanted to get a Arizona tea the other day, and man, I haven't had one in a long time. But the reason why I don't get them is because, to me, like they're thinner than water, and so I drink them quick. Like water, okay. If I had water that size, I wouldn't be able to chug it. That I could probably do, like, just down it like super quick. And then my problem is I gotta go to the bathroom every little while, so that's why I don't drink those, because I like them a lot. I can drink them quicker than I can like water, so it's crazy.
Yeah, no, and depending on which gas stations you go to, they have them like 2 for whatever.
Yeah,
so they have sales on them.
Cannot do that. Next segment is hangover
news brews.
Well, that's the third one. Almost there. I almost forgot about hangover, where we talk about things from previous topics that we didn't get to bring up or forgot to mention or whatnot. I don't even remember what last episode was.
It was our personal like top 5 or personal something.
That was the Google Bard one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Anyone have any hangover?
No.
Oh, we can't really have any hangover in that one because that one was. Well, what I did want to say actually on that one was that one there wasn't like really a winner, because like I feel like we had better information than what Google did, like because their list was like garbage.
Yeah.
And I was like, we had more information and more like a better understanding of like genre.
Yeah.
Which is so weird because like the AI has literally access to like everything, like and I mean we can't look up everything and read everything, and it's just stuff that we knew and whatnot, but I just thought it was interesting.
Well, it's like they say, I mean, of course AI knows all sorts of stuff, but it's like the drum machine, right? Drum machines have no soul.
Yet. So check this out. So I know we've had conversations about AI, like more about more AI stuff and news off the show, and then of course I think probably the Google Bard episode, the last one, was one where we talked about it just a little bit. But I noticed on the news, I don't know if this is just the news being extra or whatever, but well, that's they so now they're starting to say like they're starting to have meetings, like the government's starting to have meetings because they're afraid that AI is going to start turning.
In fact, I read last year that Google has an AI entity that's locked up in a vault because it started becoming self-aware.
I've heard that story too, and it is true. But so like they're having like intelligence meetings and stuff about like, hey, like what can we do to keep the AI at bay? Blah blah blah. I'm like, dude, that's some crazy shit. Like. Like, you think back at like Terminator and crap, and you're all like, this is but no. So you heard it here first. This is gonna be your official podcast of the uprising. No, not the uprising. The
takeover.
No, what is it called? Like the people that are like on the rebellion.
The rebellion.
Yeah, in case the machines come and rise up and take over.
Yeah,
it's an official podcast.
Well, you just got to add water to them, and that's
pretty much, and just let them rust out.
Yeah.
All right, so there's that. Next piece is news and brews and news. I really don't have any news.
Well, we're talking about AI. I read recently that Paul McCartney is releasing. I'm not sure if it's a new Beatles album or a new Beatles song with AI assistance.
What? Oh, okay. Wait, but how far is the assistance going?
So I think it was first rumored that the AI was gonna be singing George Harrison.
Oh, so that's.
But no. He clarified. Paul McCartney clarified and said that they're actually taking vocals that have long been in a vault, and they're cleaning them up. So John Lennon, in fact, they're using one of John Lennon's songs that was just like recorded but never ever released. It was just like sat on the shelf for so long. And now that AI is becoming a thing, Paul McCartney was like, well, let's use AI and get those vocals and really, really clean them up. Yeah. And then I'm going to release a new Beatles song sometime later this year.
That's weird.
Which is, I'm on the fence about it because, for sure it's like, they're using John Lennon's voice, his actual voice. and they're just using AI as like a cleanup assistant. Basically.
Yeah, that's fine, I guess. I mean,
but if it was AI
Yeah.
singing as John Lennon,
Yeah.
that would have been a much bigger, I would have pushed back on that.
yeah. Another thing I heard about AI too. I think the Grammys released this or something. They were saying that because like more artists are starting to like use AI to like create the music. Not like cleaning it up or doing the mixing and stuff like that, but
Right.
like to create it. So now the Grammys made a rule where no AI generated music can be considered for nomination for
right,
a
right.
Grammy. And I'm like, it's pretty crazy. What they should do just for the hell of it is just make its own category, like the AI fucking category or whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Like just be
like,
interesting.
how would they know?
I mean, I'm sure you would have to put it down, especially since you have to sign up for
They'd
what
have
is
to
it like?
accredit AI.
Yeah, like what is it?
a
The
computer, it
I
doesn't
forgot what the
matter.
music BMI. I think
BMI.
it is BMI, right? The
Body mass index.
no, it's I'm gonna have to look it up because it's gonna bug me. It's like the organization for like musicians, kind of like how the actors have the Actors Guild.
Oh.
Musicians have see what the hell. ASCAP? I think it's ASCAP. It is ASCAP.
Yeah, ASCAP. Yeah.
ASCAP, which is the American Society of Composers, Artists, and
Performers.
Performers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. That's what I meant. BMI is
I think that's like the British Billboard something, right?
No. Okay, so if I'm correct, BMI is it's body mass index did come up. Broadcast music. They do
Broadcast
the
music.
copyright.
Oh, okay.
BMI
okay,
does the
okay.
copyright stuff. So okay, that's where I got confused. But
Okay, got it.
definitely body mass index is the first thing that pops up. But yeah, no, BMI has to do with copyright and stuff. That's the copyright organization. They're a music rights management group or whatnot. Anyways, so okay, enough about AI.
But I feel
don't wanna
even
piss
then.
it off.
But I feel even then. I mean, like Kim mentioned, how would they know if it's AI?
Well, because you would have to.
Yeah, but even if like you lied and said it's not AI,
it's
There
not.
are detectors.
there are
computers,
detectors.
yeah,
but even
I'm
if it
pretty
slips
sure.
under the radar and they find out years later,
The
then
computers are gonna
you
rise
lose
up.
your Grammy.
It's easy.
Then you're
They're
Milli
gonna
Vanilli'd.
Are you
Yeah.
gonna? Yeah, that. Or they can use AI to look for the AI. You know what I mean? They're gonna be like,
They already
we're
are,
gonna
yeah.
run. Yeah.
I mean, there
So
are detectors
They're
for sure.
AIing
Lots of
the
them.
AI.
yeah. So AI. You start use it against themselves, and they're gonna get pissed, and then that's where it starts. The
What if-
Grammys. It starts with the Grammys. The
What
Grammys
if,
is gonna be.
what if there's like a
downfall.
music producer out there who names himself AI, just produced by AI,
Oh, that's pretty clever.
Huh.
and nobody knows who it is? They just know that there's a person out there named
It's
AI.
not a person. It's the fucking computer.
I know, but let's just say it's a person.
No,
And-
it's not a
and-
person.
And,
He's
you know,
disguised
they
as
just-
a
Mario's not
person.
willing to go along
and they
with
keep
this.
their identity secret like the whole time.
No.
No.
Not
I
willing
mean, that
to go
sounds
there
cool.
with
It
you.
does sound cool.
Yeah,
though.
yeah. Just like Banksy, nobody knows who Banksy is.
Nah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. For now, it's AI.
Yeah.
It's AI in a hoodie and sweatpants.
There you
Yep.
go.
All right, so I think that's it for the segments, right?
Mhm.
Okay. Let's go ahead and kick off the topic. Of course, like we said, LGBTQ musicians and artists. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first. I mean, I have a little bit of a list.
Okay, cool. Does everyone have a little bit of list? I'm just curious.
I got like 2 peeps.
4, 5, 6, 7,
Not
8,
because I
9,
just-
10, 11, 12.
Why'd you make that face at
Oh
me?
no, because I just thought.
Shaming me.
Well, this was your.
It
kinda
wasn't
like-
my idea. It was just like we always do stuff for other things, so why not this?
And that makes it your idea because I was like.
Well, I didn't like
I,
say.
I didn't think about
I
it.
didn't
No,
do it like
we're
my
just-
idea. Like, oh, I got like everything. Like, I'm just like, oh,
Okay.
to commemorate.
All right.
Just because you came up with the Mother's Day thing doesn't mean you have to have all the Mother's Day stuff, right? You know.
Yeah, you're right. Okay.
Mario's going to edit out this bickering later.
Frank, go ahead and kick us off, and then we'll.
Yes. So my first artist is a singer from Alabama Shakes, Brittany Howard, born October 2nd, 1988, vocalist, guitarist, and main singer, songwriter in Alabama Shakes, which is like a blues, southern, soul type band. And she's an out lesbian. And
Okay.
I think she came out in, 2013 or something like that.
Okay.
And I like her voice. It's very powerful. It's good stuff.
Okay. Oh, that's it.
Yeah,
I mean,
how much?
usually you
I
have
know,
like
he does. He has a narrative.
yeah.
I know, I do, but I figured since my list is a little long, I'm just gonna try to keep it to the basics, you know.
Okay. Well, I mean, if you want, you can go on to the next one. Or you can knock a couple off. I mean,
Yeah, okay. So we talked about Alabama Shakes, Brittany Howard.
do you listen to this band frequently? Or like,
Not frequently, but it's one of those bands that, you know, if I just want to listen to just like good driving music, you know.
what genre is it? I've heard of them. I just don't know enough about them.
Yeah, it's a little bit like southern blues, southern rock.
Okay, I think that's what I thought it was.
It's almost like, are you familiar with the Black Keys?
Yes.
Somewhat in the same category,
Okay.
but juicier.
Okay. I don't know what that means, but it's
because I think like Black Keys are probably a little full of themselves.
Wait a minute.
in a
So
way.
if you're not fully yourself, then you're more juicy.
Yeah.
Is that a new slang thing that you picked up from the Gen Z kids?
No, I just made it up right now.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay,
So,
well.
yeah. There we go.
That's a timeout horn.
Man, that'd be busting.
No. Said it again. All right, go ahead and knock off another one.
All right, so my second artist, a singer, songwriter, musician, and performance artist, born April 30th, 1976, Amanda Palmer of the Dresden Dolls, a cabaret punk band, and she is bisexual. Most famously, she was married to Neil Gaiman for about 12, 13 years or so.
Oh, shit. Okay.
And I recently read her book, I think the only book she's just got out right now, called The Art of Asking.
Okay.
Which is essentially, it's like a self-help book, and it's, you know, turning to a community of people to...
On the internet.
And basically just, you know, I need this, who can provide? And actually, she was one of the first successful, I think she was the first successful artist to raise $1 million, I think, on Kickstarter. She was using Kickstarter to fund one of her solo albums. And yeah, she was the first artist and the first female artist, actually, rather, to raise $1 million for the recording of her album, the paying for all sorts of stuff. And of course, you know, it's not all in vain, right? Because you're backing an artist, and whatever you pay, of course, you're going to get a product out of it, you know? So it's like if you pay $25, you'll get a CD and a T-shirt. You pay $50, you'll get a CD, a T-shirt, maybe some extra stuff too.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So those are my first two for now.
Cool. All right. Brett, Kim wants to go.
I'll go.
Okay, go ahead.
It almost sounds like when the teacher's calling.
Kinda, a little bit.
I know.
Y'all making me feel like a dick.
No.
But
Sorry.
no, it's
No,
cool.
I'll go. I have several people on
If
my
you don't
list.
volunteer, I'm gonna start calling on you.
Yeah, that's right. Scaring us. The first guys on my list are, I mean, you know, I stuck with a lot of my typical stuff for the 80s new wave, and there are lots of folks to pick from. So my first band was the Bronski Beat, British synth pop band from London, and all the members of the band are gay, or were, because we lost Steve Bronski earlier this year, I believe, or maybe it was late last year. Yeah, and so their music was really about how difficult it was for them growing up in that time period. And I guess their most popular song, Small Town Boy, is all about that. So, yeah, Bronski Beat, my first guys. Erasure, of course, Andy Bell from Erasure is openly gay and has been for a long time. And I also put on here Dead or Alive's Pete Burns, who actually was married to a woman for a long time, but then was with a man, so he was bisexual, and he kind of, I think I got a quote from him because he said something, I thought I did, something rather interesting that I thought.
He said, "You spin me round."
Yeah, he did. Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
Because he said, I swear I took a screenshot specifically because I wanted to quote it, but because I guess he gets a lot of questions, or did previously. He has since passed away, but he got a lot of questions about his sexuality and things like that, and now I'm having trouble finding it. Oh, there. He said, people always want to know, am I gay, bi, trans, or what? I say, forget all that. There's got to be a completely different terminology I'm not aware of. It's been invented yet. I'm just Pete. But he was, had relationships with men and women. And, very famously dressed in women's attire and things like that. So, or what is typically seen as women's attire.
Okay. All right.
There's also that really cool video that I think it's Paul Rudd and Jimmy Fallon did.
Yeah. It's like frame by frame, the right round the video. You Spin Me Right.
I might have seen it. I probably just don't remember.
But yeah, Paul Rudd is dressed just like him, does every move exactly like him. You can watch them side by side. It's pretty great.
Huh. Interesting. All right.
You know that song, right, Mario?
Yeah, of course I know that song.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
You're scaring me for a minute.
No, I know that. No, I'm talking about. I meant the video. I wasn't. I wasn't. I don't.
Video.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if I had seen that Jimmy Fallon and Paul Rudd video, but yeah. No, I know that song. Definitely. Know that song. Kim, what you got?
Yes, Mr. Mario, sir. So, being me, I have Lance Bass.
Oh, yeah.
Who came out in July of 2006, 4 years after NSYNC went on hiatus. He came out in a People magazine like cover issue, whatever. I don't know how to say that. It's like it was a
cover story.
Yeah, cover story. There you go. That's what it is. Oh, I have that written here. And he came out as gay after speculations. Pics of him were like of him at gay clubs and bars leading up to the interview. So that was that. And during his time in NSYNC, he felt that he had to hide the fact that he was gay due to how the label is pressuring them on all sorts of things. Like, I mean, they're a pop they're a pop boy band. So it was like no drinking, no smoking, you're single, right? You're available.
Yes, that's right.
Without being available. And so he felt like, well, then I guess being gay is off the table as well. So he felt like he had to hide that also while he was in the band.
I kind of feel like after all that stuff that you were saying, the label was was telling him and stuff, that I bet that if he did put it on the table, they'd be like, no, you can't.
Yeah. No. Oh, yeah. That's why he was like, that's probably off the table.
What about Joey Fatone, though? I mean, they were okay with him looking like a dad.
I guess.
That's dirty.
You have to have somebody for everybody, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's true. You have to hit all the demographics.
Yeah, I mean, the moms are taking the young ladies or gentlemen to the concerts, so you got to have the dad bods or whatever, right?
All right, I'll have my first one right now. Let me just go grab the beer real quick.
While Mario grabs the beer, I got a joke.
Okay.
So two thieves walk into a liquor store.
Okay.
And one of the thieves holds up a bottle and says to the other thief, "Is this whiskey?" And the other thief says, "Not as whiskey as robbing a bank."
That's a good one. I like that one. It's relevant to the podcast.
Yes.
And I like that. All right. So our first beer, I special ordered.
Wow.
We like to have our band beer collaborations on the show. Britt, Kim might probably appreciate this one a bit more. This is a collaboration between El Segundo Brewing Company and 311.
Whoa.
It's called Come Original IPA.
Aww.
So it's an IPA. We got a 311 beer. It just came out a couple weeks ago.
Now I really want to hear that song.
So this was canned on. It's kind of blurry. It looks like May 10th, and it says "Love Your Life" on the little stamp. So I'll go ahead and let
Cool.
Kim do the honors,
Cool.
and then I forgot. I didn't check the ABV, but I'll check it. Check it
I had no idea they had a collaboration with the brewery.
Yeah, that's new.
7% alcohol by
7%.
volume.
Oh, okay.
They also have like
That's.
THC products or CBD products or something too.
Yeah.
Where did you say the brewery's from?
California. I don't
California.
forgot where
we can go there.
California. It's,
We were good that night at the thing, and that was
yeah,
about
for
the size of the sample. We're good.
Yeah.
We're good.
We got to help Mario with that
20
big
tickets
can
later.
too.
Oh shit! The beer towel's over there somewhere. It's from. El Segundo, California. Yeah.
Yeah.
El Segundo, California. Yeah. So, but yeah, no, this beer just came out. I pre-ordered it, and it just came in like 2 weeks ago. So,
Okay.
yeah. Oh, beer towel. All right, cool. All right, so let's give it a taste. I still got some of that sour in my whatever.
What kind is it again?
It's an IPA.
Oh. That's what
It smells like an IPA.
Sorry, I suck
Oh, it's
at
okay.
pouring.
It doesn't. It smells okay. It smells
It's good.
like an IPA, but
Oh, yeah.
not like a yucky one.
No, it's good.
Well, it smells fresh.
That bitterness doesn't linger very long. It
Yeah,
like
but
hits you, but then it like
but it's a
goes
good
away.
bitter.
Yeah. It's like grapefruity.
It is.
Yeah, it is grapefruity. I give it a
too bad.
4.7. I think it's because we like the tropical IPAs more, the little more citrusy. This one doesn't. It's weird. This one doesn't taste too citrusy. It does have that flavor that you said. Like grapefruit, yeah, but it doesn't, like, I don't taste anything other than that.
Yeah.
Like profile. I go like a 4.7. Yeah, 4.7. Kim, Britt, what do y'all give it?
I'm gonna go like 3.7.
3.11.
3 point. Kim, what do you give it?
4.
4. Okay. All right. So my first artist is, and what's pretty crazy is I told Kim that I was doing my research, and I was doing everyone on my list. It was like right off the top of my head, and I realized that I checked all the boxes on LGBTQ.
Oh,
I have
hey.
like a musician or artist and like from every category, and I was like, oh, that's pretty crazy. I
I
covered.
said, okay, overachiever. Damn.
I was just like,
No
I
wonder
did,
he's getting on me. You came up with that. Why you got shit?
I didn't know. So it was kind of crazy. But anyways, Lizzie Hale. Lizzie Hale is the lead singer and rhythm guitarist of the hard rock band Hailstorm. We've talked about Hailstorm before. But I knew like she had some kind of representation in the LGBTQ community, and I did find this this little piece on her Wikipedia page, which I thought was interesting. It led to
She's on my list too.
what?
She's on my list also.
Oh, okay. Yeah, she. It led to some kind of little interview thing, and it led me to another page, and I just confirmed it because it's Wikipedia. But it said here on October 11, 2014, Hale said she is bisexual on her personal Twitter account. In 2015, bandmate Josh Smith confirmed that Hale was in a relationship with fellow Hailstorm guitarist Joe Hottinger. And in 2021, Hale stated on Twitter, "I'm a bi gal in an 18-year-old relationship with a man." So she's been in a relationship with this guitarist who's a male for 18 years. But she also likes females.
Yeah.
So, yeah, she's bisexual. I kind of figured that. But, I mean, what's interesting is that some of these artists don't ever... Some of them never do, and some of them it takes a while where they come out and say, what their orientation is. And she did. This was 2014, so you could just see that in her, how she carries herself and stuff, and like the her song lyrics too. Because some too, these artists, like you can see it or read it or hear it in their song lyrics or in their songs, but like they still won't say whether they're this or that, which is interesting. No. So yeah, Lizzie Hale was the first one on my list.
Yeah, I had come across a Loudwire article from June of 2022 of an Instagram post that she had posted, and this is what it said was, "I've been approached by many outlets this month talking about Pride, but I'm deciding to post this straight from the little bi horse's mouth. I understood there was something different about me from an early age. Growing up in a semi-Christian household, all of the things I was feeling were inherently wrong, so I hid my bisexuality for a long time. It was through being in a band, getting out of organized religion, finding my tribe, and trudging through the dark, musky waters of life that I was able to be truly comfortable owning all the things that made me me. I'm unapologetically bisexual, navigating with In my own spectrum of this tremendous rainbow that we are all a part of, what I hope to pass on to you, whether you are in the state of pride or still riding the high seas, is that by being your true self, embracing what makes you stand out to others, and owning your weird, these things ultimately become your superpowers. Your true self is precious. No one can take it from you unless you let them. Wield it like a secret weapon. As far as I know, we only get one time around this ride, so live and breathe every single part of you. The good, the bad, the colorful, and the queer. Rock on, motherfuckers. I celebrate you. And that was from 2022, I believe.
Okay, I was wondering what year that was from. Okay, all right.
Also, a question: why did she drop the I on Lizzie?
I don't know. I guess probably because it probably looks cool without the I.
Maybe.
Let me see. Do I see anything here about that? I do not. It's just like a...
Just like an aesthetic thing?
Yeah,
so,
it's probably just an aesthetic thing, yeah. I mean, her name's Elizabeth, so...
Right.
But yeah, no, that's pretty interesting. I mean, cool.
Actually, I think we saw her guitar at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
It's funny, because it says here that Gibson announced that Hale was the first... Well, they announced her as a brand ambassador, but she was the first female Gibson brand ambassador. And that was in 2021, so that was only 2 years ago. And I saw her guitar... What did you see the Explorer or no?
I think it was the Explorer, I believe.
Because she has a signature Explorer, and I saw that it just came back in stock, and I didn't know it was hers, and I saw it, and I was like, damn, that's a nice Explorer. Yeah. And I saw it was her signature, and I was like, oh, fuck, that's a nice guitar.
No, I didn't know that, yeah.
But I didn't see how much it was. I opened the link, and I was like, oh, fuck, but it's nice. Who else wants... Frank, you want to go again, or...?
Yeah, I will go again.
All right, go for it.
So my next artist is... John O'Regan, also known as Diamond Rings. Born July 6, 1985, Canadian artist, musician. Dropped off the radar for a little bit after a second album. Nobody really knew anything about what happened with him, and just resurfaced one day as an art director in in film. And so, I mean, I think he still does music as J.G. Ballard. But, yeah, now he mostly just focuses on film.
I remember him.
Yeah, when he first came out, I mean...
Yeah, I quite liked him. I had one, I guess probably the first album.
I had both albums, and yeah, so, and he's out as gay. And both albums I thought were really good, and then after a while, just never really heard anything from him, and I looked him up maybe last year just to see what he was up to, and yeah, he just completely dropped the Diamond Rings moniker, and now goes by J.G. Ballard, does... art direction and film. So I mean, I guess he's still involved in the arts, just in a different way, a different capacity. So cool. That's my next artist. My other artist following is Brian Cook, born July 16, 1977, bassist for Russian Circles, Sumac, These Arms Are Snakes, and Botch.
Never heard of any of those bands.
Me neither.
They're all post metal. And
post-metal, okay.
I really like my post-metal stuff.
Okay.
Like really doomy, dark post-metal.
Okay, all right. Well, post-metal's got to be your next genre then if we go against Google Bard again.
Okay.
Because I don't think I know what post-metal is.
I mean, for me, the definition of post-metal is just basically just taking metal elements, but making it, it's like modern metal. In a way,
I'm gonna ask Wikipedia.
Yeah, you have to ask. But that's just my definition. It's like modern metal, but just less traditionally structured.
Okay.
And you just have a bunch of, like I said, I mean, a lot of it tends to have like doomy vocals and, just much more underground kind of, direction than anything mainstream would. Okay. So, yeah. I mean, if it's got Post on it, I'm going to listen to it.
Post Office, Post Malone,
Post everything.
Post-its. You name it. Frank's like the Post stuff.
I'm on there.
Who else?
I can go again.
I mean, I can go if you want.
I don't mind. I thought we were going in.
All right, go for it. Go for it.
Squircle.
It's kind of my turn.
Squircle.
No. I mean, yeah, still sticking in my favorite genre. I have REM's Michael Stipe.
Okay.
Who is bisexual, openly bisexual, and has had relationships with men and women.
I did not know that.
And of course, Boy George from the Culture Club, who back in the day said he was bisexual, but then later in his autobiography said he was gay.
Is Stipe is he is he openly did he acknowledge it publicly, or was it just?
Yes, I'm trying to think of when, and I just.
You don't have to have that. I just was curious that if he had or not, because I know some don't. And
yeah, let me see if I can tell you, because he was in a relationship with Natalie Merchant from the 10,000 Maniacs back in the early 80s. He said he in the early 90s he said, "I'm an equal opportunity lech."
Okay, all right, cool.
So he did not define himself as gay, straight, or bisexual, but that he is attracted to and had relationships with men and women.
That's crazy how some of them.
He also described himself as queer.
Oh, okay.
But then later, I don't know. So it kind of seems like he goes back and forth with the label part of it.
It sounds weird because some of these artists, well, I haven't gotten to those yet, but where they say oh yeah, I've been in a relationship with a male and a female or whatever, and that they enjoy both or whatever, but they won't label it they're afraid to be you know what I mean? It's weird. I'll get to a big one later, and we'll talk about it. But
I think it's one of those things where once you label yourself, then that's what you're gonna be pigeonholed as.
Yeah, I guess
for sure.
I
There's
understand
a lot of that.
Okay, I understand that now.
And then, I can see that for sure.
All right.
And then, so I was talking about Boy George, and he was, interviewed, do you prefer men or women? This is in the early 80s, and he said both. But that he also said that he preferred a nice cup of tea to sex. So.
It's very British.
So he's
yes.
Tea-sexual.
Yeah, there you go. I might be that too, y'all.
All right. All right.
No, but then later, changed that and said different things and so on. But what was I going to say? Oh, that he did have a relationship with one of the other members of the Culture Club. But then that member, who is, he actually denied it, and it was kind of a sensitive subject, and that was a lot of what the songs were about, like the "Do You Really Want to Hurt Me" song is about that relationship.
Wow.
Yeah. Try to remember that guy's name. Do you remember that one, Frankie?
Nope, I know what you're talking about. I think it's the bassist, right?
Yeah.
I would have just fired him from the band.
Mikey Craig?
I would have just gotten a new person in the band.
All right.
Yeah.
Sure.
So Michael Stipe, Boy George, and then the B-52s are also on my list. Fred Schneider, of course. Openly gay. Ricky Wilson, who passed away in the mid-'80s from an AIDS-related disease. He was the guitarist, and he was the brother of Cindy Wilson, who was one of the singers. And so he was openly gay. Kate Pearson,
he was one of the founding members, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And Kate Pearson, one of the singers, is bisexual. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Wait, what?
Beer break?
Sure, yeah, if you want to.
I don't know, I'm just asking.
I'll grab it.
I feel like we've gone around like a time or two.
All right, hold on.
Beer break. I don't have any jokes right now.
Okay.
We're okay with that.
What do you got?
Okay, so this is not a craft beer. I know at the beginning of the episode I say craft beer, but we have other shit sometimes too. This one, craft shit. I'll just say craft shit. Yeah, craft chips, craft hard seltzers, whatever. So this one it's from a brewery. No, not a brewery. I shouldn't say brewery. A company called Happy Dad. This is a Happy Dad hard seltzer in collaboration with Death Row Records.
Okay.
Yeah.
What?
And it is a grape hard seltzer.
Okay.
Yeah, I had to get it because it's music related. So
that's funny.
So yeah, let me see. What's the ABV on this? So if those of you who don't know Death Row Records, it is a very iconic record label.
Yes.
In the what? I would say it's more rap, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to
pretty
say
much
hip hop,
strictly,
more rap. Yeah. The rap community, 5%, 5% ABV. It smells like it smells like grape, but Kim, Britt, anybody want to do the honors?
I was trying to look up the record. Sorry.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it just said Happy Dad was founded. This is from the
Who cares about Happy Dad? No, I'm just
keganbottle.com website.
Thank you. Oh, it's
Founded in
there.
2021 by a wild group of friends that wanted to make the best tasting hard seltzer.
Okay, we'll be the judge of that.
I don't know why. Death Row Records.
Smells like
grape
cough syrup.
Tylenol.
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why Death Row Records either. I actually
So-
probably should have looked that up before the show, but
And Wikipedia says Death Row Records is an American independent record label that was founded in 1991 by the DOC, Dr. Dre, Suge Knight, and Dick Griffey. The label became a sensation by releasing multi-platinum hip-hop albums by West
Hip-hop.
Coast-based artists
Hip-hop,
such as Dr.
okay, I
Dre,
was wrong.
Snoop Dogg, Tupac. During the 1990s, at its peak, Death Row was making. Okay, nobody cares about that. How much money they were making, but maybe they do. Yeah, that's what I got.
okay, I
Wikipedia.
was wrong. I guess I don't know the difference, but because I was gonna say
okay,
hip hop,
you
but
know.
I felt like rap was more
Right.
the
And now that we're on the Death Row
Rap pop.
topic, Straight Outta Compton's a good movie.
never. Well, yeah, I heard it was good. I
Yeah, it
haven't
was
seen
good.
it yet, but all right, let's give it
Oh,
let's give it
no.
a try.
It's like taking grape Tylenol
Yeah.
that's not as sweet.
It's exactly
not
what
that
it
bad.
is. It's actually not bad. It's not like it doesn't have that heavy medicinal taste.
Yeah.
You're right. It does taste like that though.
In the beginning,
because
it
it's
sounded
grape
like-
though. Like
It
grape,
tastes like
everything grape has that taste.
yes, it's one of those push pops from the fridge,
Yes.
like the little frozen bag
We're-
of
yeah.
popsicle, the grape flavor.
Yeah, those are always left last.
Yeah.
For a reason.
I hated whenever they only had the damn grape Tylenol when I was a kid.
This
I'm
is
like,
what
why?
it tastes like though. It
But I
kind of
think-
tastes more like the Tylenol, I think, a little bit.
I think it's because it
But
was
not
for
as
like
strong.
certain symptoms.
Probably. It's not bad. I mean,
Yeah.
but it's not great. It's just I think grape is not very
Artificial grape. Real grapes
yeah,
are nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
And wine works. Like, why not just?
Right. Nah.
Give it a 4.
That's generous.
No. I'll drop it down a bit. 3.5.
Same, 3.5.
Britt?
2.5.
Once I like
Well,
taste
okay.
it, like chug it like a good gulp, it's
Yeah. If you get a good gulp, well, that's the thing though, because if you take a little sip, you're just gonna get that
it's just
initial
very
flavor.
cold and refreshing.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
It's
like I
not.
could drink this at the pool maybe, but also
And you might have
maybe
a
I'd
little
be
bit of a mix
sick.
there because
maybe I'd have a cold.
Yeah.
I'm drinking it straight from
Yeah.
the can.
I will say that it doesn't taste like alcohol. Right?
No,
like you
it
don't
doesn't.
taste anything.
Yeah, no.
in there
Oh,
at
yeah,
all.
no,
It just
definitely,
tastes
definitely. Yeah.
Like a super artificial grape fizzy.
All right. Well, that was interesting. So far, we've had 2 music-related drinks.
Yeah,
Kim,
fun.
You want to go to the next one?
Sure. My next one on my list is Demi Lovato, who in 2015 came out as bisexual. In 2017, their YouTube doc, Simply Complicated, stated openly that they were open to dating men, women, and that I keep saying her, they, as their pronouns are they, them, sorry.
Okay.
They are fluid, love is love, and you can find it in any gender. In 2021, they were on the Joe Rogan Experience podcast, and they define themselves as pansexual, which finds romantic or sexual attraction to anyone. The sexually fluid person's gender doesn't have any influence on the attraction. So
Okay.
I apologize, Miss Lovato. That's tough. It's tough when you're used to like a certain
yeah.
thing. You
And
know?
I actually got
takes some
confused for a
conscious
second.
effort.
Yeah, when you said they, I was like,
No, yeah.
there's 2 people?
Plural,
Like, yeah,
yes,
I got
yeah.
confused.
Yeah.
I actually read recently that Demi dropped her pronouns
Okay.
Oh, huh.
because apparently it was too much to keep up with.
Oh.
Maybe.
So
Maybe.
what?
I mean,
how does one refer to Demi Lovato?
No.
Do we just
I
say
think
Demi
if
every
you're
time?
I think if you're uncertain, you would just refer to them as Demi. You know?
okay.
Okay. I mean, I could search it real quick.
As an English teacher, this is very challenging.
Let's see.
If I read something that was like Demi, you'd be
like, this is repetitive.
Use some pronouns already,
right?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what.
So this was 2021.
Well, this says
Was my
2022.
last.
That
Okay.
you're. It's basically saying
So
what
they,
Kim
them.
was saying.
Yeah.
They them. Well, they.
Oh,
Oh,
they
she
use
now
they and
uses both
she.
they and she.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay,
Sorry.
okay,
Sorry,
okay.
not sorry. I don't
Oh,
know.
okay. So, because this is from CNN and NBC News. It said that she started using pronouns again.
Okay.
But now she's using they, she, and her. So I guess
Okay.
it was like
Okay.
Kim's, and then
I'm
what
good.
you said, and then So y'all are right. Everybody's right.
Yeah.
Mine is a drummer for the band Pop Evil. She joined the band in 2015, and she's still currently the drummer for Pop Evil. I saw her play with Pop Evil probably 2016, probably. Her name is Haley Kramer. Haley Kramer got married June of last year, and she actually married another drummer from another band. So her wife's name is Cyan?
That's it.
Cyan Monahan. So Monahan is she was a drummer for a psych pop band called She Drew the Gun. I hadn't heard of them before. She also drummed for artists China Crisis, The Wandering Hearts, and Fink. So this is here. So they got married June of last year. The part that I wanted to read right here, this is from blabbermouth.net. It said, last summer, Haley appeared on the podcast Side Jams with Brian Reisman to talk about her passion for women's rights and LGBTQ rights. Regarding her gender orientation and being a role model for women, she said, I'm predominantly known as a female. I present myself as a female, but there's a huge part of me that feels I should have been born a man. And now we're touching on the subject of me being in a band with a bunch of men and me being with gay female, and it works. It works because if I close my eyes, I'm neither male or female. So if I'm in a band with a bunch of men, I'm the same as them. If I'm in a band with a bunch of females, I'm the same as them. I'm predominantly more towards the masculine side, but the way I present myself is more towards the feminine side. And maybe that was a choice I made for my career. I'll hold my hand up to that. If I didn't have my drumming ability and I was doing a different job, I may have made the transition to a man. So I guess, it just sounds like the being in a band helps her be more fluid with, because you don't have to be like, you're not like, let's say you had an office job. It's not like, it's, you're kind of, I feel like there's a perception.
Maybe those more old-fashioned or out of date.
Yeah, or even just
stereotypes, maybe?
What's the word? Not the atmosphere, the culture. Culture is more, music, it's just depending what genre you're in. But yeah, no, she was definitely on my list. I'm gonna keep reading another part right here. It also said, as for being an advocate for LGBTQ rights, she said, I didn't want females to be seen as this novelty thing. I wanted to get really good at drums and prove the freaking world wrong. I kept long hair. I didn't get loads of tattoos. I didn't shave my head. I kept quite feminine to prove a freaking point, and that was really uncomfortable for me for a long time. To buy makeup for me was a real struggle. If I walk into a shop to buy makeup, I still feel uncomfortable. And if I'm standing in a makeup section, I felt that. And then female underwear or female time of the month products. I still struggle every time. Every time I have to walk into a shop and be in that section, it just doesn't feel right. So there's a side of me that's very, very masculine, but my career looks very feminine. But it was a definite choice I made, and maybe that's a sign of the times. I hope down the line that girls don't necessarily have to make that choice. So it's cool that she, that she's like
purposeful in her.
Yeah, and she advocates for that. And like I said, like later on, I'm gonna get into artists that never did. Which is it's their choice, it's whatever. But it's just, I just found it interesting how they were identified in one of these categories, but they didn't really want to associate with them. Kind of like how you were saying, I guess, Frank, that they didn't want to put themselves in a category or whatever. Which to everyone's gonna have their own reasons for whatever, but I don't know. I just thought her story was pretty cool. So Haley Kramer, drummer of Pop Evil.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, my turn.
Oh, she's British, by the way.
British.
Yeah,
British.
She's British.
My next one is more on the extreme side of music. Gall of Gorgoroth, the band.
I've
vocalist.
heard of that band.
Born August 7, 1975, vocalist and painter, best known as the vocalist of Gorgoroth, which is a black metal band, and he's openly gay. And it's a little, black metal tends to be a bit extreme.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I mean, I think it took them years to come out because, black metal is just very not inclusive, but they're, like they don't judge, but they also don't quite accept as well, because it's like they're like in their own little circle and whatnot. So I think once like the music climate started changing a little bit and people's attitude started changing a little bit, then that's when he came out. But he's also a controversial figure. I mean, everybody in black metal is controversial.
Yeah,
he's gotten prison sentences for beating dudes up and
oh shit,
threatening to drink their blood.
Oh crap, that's cool.
That's cool.
I mean, he's just threatening them. I mean, he's not really drinking their blood.
No, he's not drinking their blood.
Yeah,
but
I mean, you can say whatever you want, right? Free speech.
Yeah. And so that's one artist. My next artist is Kristen Martinez. I don't really know an age for her.
Mm-hmm.
Roughly 37, 38. From El Paso. She's the vocalist of Moody Black, a noise rap band. Which to me is more like...
I have no idea. You're going into...
We saw them open for Pussifer.
Oh, shit.
Last year. And it was like a very industrial...
Oh, that?
I described it.
What's the genre?
It's
noise rap?
It's noise rap, yeah. But to me, it's like post-apocalyptic industrial rap. That's how I describe it myself.
All right. Cool.
And so, yeah.
I'll let that part out. No, I'm just kidding. Not you, Frank.
Those are my two for now.
Okay. Oh, okay. Those are your two. All right, Brett.
Yeah.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Sorry, I forgot we were tagging. I was
okay. Is that where I went? Oh, yeah. The Pet Shop Boys, Neil Tennant, one of the two members, it's a duo, is, let's see, homosexual. Came out in '94 in a magazine article. But it says that he still remains pretty quiet about his romantic life and prefers to be, quote unquote, a man of mystery.
Cool.
So, yeah, but is out and a homosexual male. And then the next person I was on my list is George Michael.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and George Michael, I think we all know that he didn't really come out as gay until a little bit later, that when he was with Wham, he was definitely, singing about the ladies, sleeping with the ladies, all about the ladies and such. But he said that I think that he was just he kind of just says that he was using them. And that he didn't ever have relationship with the woman. It was just sex with the woman. And so for that period, I guess after that, he kind of claimed to be bisexual, but then later said that he suffered depression and he thought it was because he really was homosexual, but he hadn't admitted it. So he came out and was as a gay man later. So, yeah. And that he hid his sexuality for a long time because he was concerned about its effect on his mother.
Huh.
Yeah.
That sucks.
So, yeah.
All right.
But
So
also,
George Michael.
Also, to think about it, it was the 80s.
Yeah.
It was a
yeah.
very conservative time.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people were just not really...
As open or not
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
willing to be open. Right. Yeah. There's I think more support now. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
sure it's still not easy or
Yeah.
anything, but I think there's definitely a more support, and it was a very different time. Also on my list, I don't know, I haven't researched that guy yet. That's Kim's turn.
Oh, Kim's out?
I was
All
like,
right.
wait, I don't have anything to say about him. Just that he's gay.
Okay. My next one is actually a band. Frank can jump in if he has any information on this band. I tried to look up more information, but I really couldn't. So this is Rammstein. So during the Eastern European leg of their Europe Stadium tour, the band showed support for the LGBT community on several occasions. At a concert in Chorzów, Poland on 24 July 2019, so this was 2 years ago when their tour started, around the time the tour started, I believe. Drummer Christoph Schneider surfed the crowd in a rubber boat holding a rainbow flag. At their concert in Moscow 5 days later, guitarist Krusp and Landers kissed on stage, while they embraced each other during a concert in St. Petersburg on 2 August. The band's support for gay rights was met with criticism from some Russian politicians. Vitaly Milanov, a member of the State Duma, called the band idiots and said, if they think it's possible to behave in such a way, they should also consider it possible to keep this garbage away from us. So I think after that happened, I remember when that happened, I don't think they play Russia anymore. I believe.
Well,
I may be wrong.
Also, because nobody can enter Russia
Well,
right
that
now.
too. Well, yeah. I meant before that happened.
Yeah, so Russia as a whole is very not friendly to the gay community.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
But, in the bigger cities like Moscow and St. Petersburg, attitudes are a lot different. They're more accepting, they're more open. But Russia as a whole, it's just a very traditional-based country. So, they had issue with it. But I think, if you know Rammstein, you know what they stand for.
Yeah.
And so I think that's just them expressing support.
Yeah.
And they knew they were going to get shit for it because they're in a very conservative country that's probably not going to allow them back anymore.
Yeah.
But they didn't care. They still did it anyway.
Yeah.
I
I think the show we all went to, I think they kissed too. If I
don't
I
know.
remember correctly, and I think it's something that they do, because somebody on Instagram posted, because they're playing Europe right now, again, like the third leg of this fucking tour, but of course it got delayed because of COVID.
Right.
Somebody posted a picture again where Paul and Richard kissed. Well, Paul kissed Richard, but it's just like one of those things where like they're. I mean, even if you look at like lyrical content, their music videos and stuff, like they don't give a fuck. They're like, they're really tight in the band and stuff, and they do a lot of crazy shit. And then for people that don't know Rammstein, like also too, a lot of people were thinking it, like even then and now have the misconception where like, oh, like they're what's it called, like Nazis or whatever. But they, back in, I think this was like before 2001, they wrote the song Links 234 to show where they stood on the political spectrum, which is left. They stand on the left side. And that's what that song's about, basically. And just to clear up that misconception, we're like, hey, look, we're from Germany, but we're not fucking Nazis, and everyone's saying that we're Nazis and all this bullshit, but we're not. Like, this is, they grew up as punks, so they were on the opposite side of that,
right? And I think their whole thing that they really, I think they're good at doing is a lot of what they do in their music videos, in their songs, live performances. It's all very satirical social commentary. So that's their sense of humor. Some people take it serious, but some people know, that's just how they roll. Like that's them expressing their own opinions on what's going on socially. And a lot of it, there's humor in it. Some of it is like, I guess it offends people, but that's what makes them who they are, and it's incredible that they've had success that way, and usually I think when bands get really open like that, you have a lot of people that are hating on them, but no, it's only gotten bigger and better for them.
They're selling out fucking stadiums still, like, for the past 3 years they've been selling out this tour, so but so Rammstein, that was on my list. They've been showing support for the LGBTQ community, so had to mention them. Also too, I've been listening to them a lot lately, so Frank. Or y'all want to try another beer?
Yeah, and I actually have one too.
All right, cool. Well, go ahead and talk about your beer and I'll grab one for us.
All right. So mine is a non-alcoholic Dos Equis Lime and Salt Zero.
Wow.
It's actually really good.
Pretty good.
It's
Dang,
really, really,
I
really
haven't
good.
seen that one before.
In fact, here, that's my gift to y'all.
I just want to try it. I just need some. I don't need a lot.
All right. Well, either way.
We'll just try it.
We'll try it together. Here, let me get it on you.
Mine's fine. I rinsed mine with my water. Did the whole-
And this one I like a lot. It had,
Thank you.
for me, a very similar taste to the. It's not coming to mind right now, but it has a very similar taste to another beer that I've had before with alcohol. I think this one's like a really good summer.
That is
summer
really
beer.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Okay, let me.
Can I take this,
Drink
babe?
it.
That's pretty good. It tastes.
Limey.
Yeah, it does taste slimy.
I think it. Now I remember. It tastes very similar to the Shiner. I think it's a Shiner lime and salt.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
there
the
is a
salt
lime and
lime.
salt
Yeah,
one.
the
Uh-huh.
yeah,
Yeah.
there is a lime and salt one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a little bit.
Tastes like Bud Light Lime.
Yeah, it does taste like that because I think we had that more recently or whatever. Frank, what do you rate it?
I give it a 5.
5.
It's really good.
Britt, what do you rate it?
I'll go 4.
Kim?
I say 5.
Let me try it one more time. It's weird because it has that skunky non-alcoholic taste.
But the
smell.
lime like
Yes.
covers it really well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's the lime's probably
And you-
covering the taste, but I, do
think that's
smell
why
it.
I like it so much.
I'm gonna give it a 4 as well. I'm gonna give it a 4. It's not bad. I like it. It's not my favorite non-alcoholic because I've had some other ones that I like better than that. But
Yeah.
that is good. I think this is the first like lime one that we've had.
Mm-hmm.
That was non-alcoholic.
This is my
It's pretty-
favorite non-alcoholic thus far.
Okay. All right. Cool.
I think in terms of like Mexican style beers, this one's really, really good.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
think probably because we haven't had one. That's interesting. So for us, we have one here. I know Britt probably won't like it, but got it for Kim because we really don't have these on the show. It's from Tups Brewery. They're from here in Texas. They are from I forget where they're from. McKinney, Texas. This is what's the ABV on this? I'll find it. I swear I'll find it. 5.2%. It is a Hefeweizen. It is called what is it called? Oh, I guess it's just called Hefeweizen.
It's called loaf of bread in a can.
That's what it is. That's
Do
basically
you
what it
need
is.
to roll it?
Oh yeah.
I don't know because
because
Hefeweizens are usually very.
That's a good idea. They got sediment and stuff. So this is a Texan Hefeweizen. I'll go ahead and let you do that. And then we'll try this out. And then whose turn is it? It's your turn, right?
I wonder, do Hefeweizens use yeast in their?
Yes.
That's
Okay.
all it's
A
in there.
lot.
It's just
How much bread can you make from a Hefeweizen?
Probably
Thank
half
you.
a loaf.
Wow.
Hefaloaf.
Half a loaf.
Hefaloaf.
That was a good one.
I'm like, that's
I like
what you
it.
said.
No, but you what you heard
Became a great
yeah,
joke.
became a great joke. Yes.
That was good.
All right, so we've never had this before. Tups we rarely have on the show. I will say that a lot of the Tups beers that I've had, I really like. Tups makes really good stuff.
It's a lot clearer than I would have.
It is, yeah.
I mean, I would not have looked at it and guessed Hefeweizen because it's not.
To me, this tastes like your standard Hefeweizen. It's sweet and bready.
Yeah.
It's not bad. I mean, I like Hefeweizens. But it's not. It's like I guess what I meant to say is it's not a bad Hefeweizen. I wish it had more body. I feel like it doesn't have a lot of body to it. Like I guess the sediment because
Yeah.
usually we have the ones with a bunch of sediment in it.
It's not thick AF.
Yeah, it's not thick. Yeah, maybe like it was
More
filtered
body.
too much. Maybe
It's
possibly.
not thick at all.
Yeah, it's not thick. I give
No,
it.
it actually smells good.
I give it a 3.9. I just wish it had a little more body.
2.7.
2.7. Okay, not bad. Kim?
It's just not for me.
Yeah, I'd say 3.9.
3.9. Okay. Frank, you're up.
Sorry, you caught me mid-drink.
No, you're good. Yeah, dude, you don't have to. Take your time.
Man, this is pretty bussy.
I know that. That's the timeout horn.
All right. I won't say it for the remainder of the show.
All right.
My next artist, I guess I have like a little batch of Canadian artists here.
Okay.
Katie Stomanis of the band Austra, singer-songwriter.
Don't know who that is.
Synth pop band. I like them. Their first 2 albums were pretty like solid in my mid-20s, I guess. And another artist, Robert Alphonse, also Canadian, the sole member of the band, the electronic band Trust, TR/ST, whose debut album was also like really heavy on my rotation in my mid-20s. And both artists, Katie is a lesbian and Robert is gay. Just really good club music, Trust, I think. And Austra's a little more on like the indie pop side of things. So they're pretty good. And my next artist is also European from across the... Well, no. I said these are Canadian. These are European. Nothing to do with Canadian with Canada. So here's a band that I've never really known how to pronounce. And I don't know if it's the XX, the 2X, the double X.
Okay, I know.
I've Googled, but I've never really gotten a solid.
Dos Equis.
Dos Equis, that's what it is. Dos Equis, the band.
Members Romy Croft on guitar and Oliver Sim on bass. Both identify as lesbian and gay, respectively. And that's another band too that in my mid-20s was also pretty instrumental in my 20s.
Okay, all right.
I guess. So that's basically most of my lists, and
Okay.
I have honorable mentions too.
Okay, save your honorable mentions.
Okay.
I got 3 more. Hold on, let me just look real quick.
Me too. I think I have 3 or 4 more.
3. All right. So Britt, me and you will go back and forth, and then we'll see what
Kim done?
Frank's. Yeah,
Okay.
we'll see what Frank's.
Honorable
mention
mentions.
is,
How do
yeah.
you get to be
Goodness.
honorable? I know.
All right,
Frank's
Britt.
If it was
technicalities.
in the chat, then I'm like...
All right, bro. Yeah, I'm
know
glad
what
you.
it is.
Yeah, guys, I saved you all from Frank was gonna bring up Tiger King, and I said no. I usually
and
don't
I
say
sure
no.
as hell
I,
don't want to put that shit on the
I
playlist.
usually don't say no, but
No, I mean I just wanted y'all to amuse me because I knew what the answer
no,
was.
okay. I
You
did.
just wanted
He
to
said humor me.
I sent you some memes.
harass us. Yeah.
All right, go ahead, Brent.
He was trolling us.
Yeah, you were. I was gonna put a trolling meme on there.
Yeah.
Sticking in my genre, this Mark Allman from Soft Cell, from the 80s new wave band, pop, synth pop, whatever you want to call it. So I found an article that was quite interesting where he's talking about being a gay man in the 80s and kind of like what we were talking about before with some of the other artists I brought up and how some people were reluctant to be open about that, of course. And he said, in the early 80s, you were signed to a record label and told you had to invent girlfriends, like you were kind of saying, Kim, about NSYNC and stuff. And if you didn't, radio would never play your records again.
Oh wow,
You'd be ostracized by the press. In short, your career would be over.
that's crap.
And he said, I didn't want to say I wasn't gay, but I didn't want to say I was gay either. And on top of that, I didn't want to be defined as a gay artist. I didn't want to be labeled and go into a ghetto. I just wanted to be a pop singer. He also talks about how inspiring Jimmy Somerville was from Bronski Beat and how like they were very open and all the themes of the songs were about that. And so that was, refreshing and stuff. And he was just like a dude in a T-shirt and jeans, but, which was kind of a stark contrast compared to some of the other guys like Boy George, who was, in full makeup and things like that. So, yeah, I thought that was interesting. So Mark Allman, who was from Soft Cell, the lead singer, and he also had a solo career as well. So he was on my list.
All right. I guess.
So you want to go back one and one?
Yeah, we'll
I've
go
got
back
2
one.
more.
Yeah,
I've got 2 more.
because I have 1 and then 2 more too. So this next artist, probably one of my personal favorites, been probably one of my personal favorites for the past, want to say 20 years. What year are we in? Almost 20 years, 15 years. I'm going to say 15 years. Laura Jane Grace of Against Me.
Yes.
I actually met her back in the Warped Tour days. I met her in the band at the time when their album came out in 2006, I'm going to say 2007, somewhere around there. But super cool. It just sucks because this was back in the day when we had flip phones. And I told my brother, hey, man, I actually still have that vinyl. One of my first vinyl that I bought, this was, I'm telling you guys, 2007 probably, give or take a year. I bought a fucking vinyl single from them at their merch booth, and they all signed it. I still have it. It's in the fucking jam room in a sleeve.
I'm surprised they even sold vinyls back
exactly,
then.
Dude,
exactly. That shit would melt in like 100-degree heat.
Well, only two, but also too, like the year. Think about the year. Like vinyl was, maybe it was the start of it starting to come back. But this was, like 2007. And it was their single "Stop" from their album New Wave. And this was during the election, I think, right before. I believe this is the election where Obama was running.
Okay.
If I'm correct. And so
the first one then.
Yeah. So and they were trying to get people to vote. Actually, you know what? Let me pull it out. I'm just gonna pull up the year real quick. New Wave Against Me. I just want to verify the year. 2007. Yeah. So it was probably the 2008 Warped Tour. It could have been 2007. But anyways, I told my brother, hey, can you take a picture of me and the band? He took a picture.
And his thumb was in it.
Blur. Yeah. Yes,
Really?
his thumb covered
Stop.
his thumb covered one of the members, and it was blurry. I don't have any sort of copy of that picture.
What
Yeah.
a
But
bummer.
my brother was so he was 4 years younger than me, 6 years younger than me. Well, he still is, but I mean at the time. So 2018, he was like 14 probably.
Okay.
So he was probably nervous or whatever. But he hadn't been to a lot of concerts. But anyways, I just remember that, and I'll post a picture of the vinyl later. But anyways, she's an American musician, best known as the founder, lead singer, songwriter, and guitarist of the punk rock band Against Me, one of my favorites. In addition to Against Me, Grace fronts the band Laura Jane Grace and the Devouring Mothers, a solo project she started in 2016. Grace is notable for being one of the first highly visible punk rock musicians to come out as transgender after she publicly came out in May 2012. She released her debut solo studio album, Stay Alive, in 2020. There's just a little piece I wanted to read here about when she started her transition. There was this whole Rolling Stone article that came out in 2012, but I'm basically just going to read the first part, and this is about that time period when she was coming out or decided to start the transition. Said Grace experienced feelings of gender dysmorphia from a young age, citing them as her earliest memories. Grace publicly came out as a transgender woman in May 2012 in an article to Rolling Stone. Grace announced plans to begin transitioning in that article. Having been inspired to come out after meeting a transgender Against Me fan, Grace had informed the rest of the band that February. In 2012, she began publicly using the name Laura Jane Grace. Laura is the name her mother would have chosen had she been assigned female at birth. Jane was selected simply because she thinks it's pretty, and Grace is her mother's maiden name. On continuing to perform in Against Me, Grace said, this was before she did the full transition, or completed the transition, I should say. She said, however fierce our band was in the past, imagine me, 6'2", in heels, fucking screaming into someone's face. I was a fan of the band then, I'm a fan of the band now. And she does a lot, to, to advocate for LGBT community. She's always...
Actually, I have a book that Laura Jane Grace wrote. I think it's her only book to date. It's called Tranny. And it basically just talks about her, her upbringing, her start into the music industry, and just always struggling with these, feelings of... She knew she was one way, but she was presenting another way. And I think, like you said, she met a fan, and that was basically what inspired her to come out. It's a really good book, and it's not so much an autobiography, but it kind of is. But it's just more like, this is a book about my struggles, and I hope it helps other people,
So the interesting thing, too, about that is that it's crazy because I started listening to them in 2007, which is when that album... New Wave came out, right? So 2007. she came out and started to transition in 2012. So that was 5 years later. On that album, I believe it's the last song on that album, there's a song called The Ocean. And the lyrics are specifically about this. There's lyrics in that song that specifically say that if, at the time, if he would have been born a woman, that his mother would have named him Laura. And it's the exact fucking like answer to why she got, and it's in the lyrics, and that was 5 years prior to it's crazy. And I haven't read the book. I should probably read it, but it's crazy, watching the whole I remember seeing all this and reading all this.
Right.
But like I said, one of my favorites, had to put her on the list. So Laura Jane Grace of Against Me.
Yes.
Britt?
Yeah. So, sorry.
You're good.
My last two are actually punk bands,
Uh-huh.
not new wave bands. So there you go. The first one is a member of the band The Buzzcocks, Pete Shelley. The Buzzcocks were a band, an early punk band out of England, 1976. And Pete Shelley was, I believe, he's identifies as bisexual. And throughout his life has been openly identifies as bisexual. Pete Shelley, the Buzzcocks.
Okay, so I got one. This is I'm down to my last two. I don't know if Frank had, if this is one of his honorable mentions or not, but this is one that I had to mention, but it kind of, I've been teasing this one kind of all episode. That's Freddie Mercury. Mm-hmm. So Freddie Mercury, this one's kind of interesting because he never came out like explicitly. Mm-mm. But the funny thing is that he kind of gave some kind of influence to another artist I'm going to mention in a bit.
Okay.
The kind of strength to come out. So I just want to say this about Freddie Mercury. This was actually, I tried to find stuff on Wikipedia, and it was just a lot of like biographical stuff, and it wasn't really like saying anything specifically about his sexuality. But it led me to a BBC article that came out in 2019, and this is what I found. It says, it's impossible to know how Mercury might have defined his sexuality because, in public at least, he never quite addressed it head on. In his lifetime, British newspaper The Sun branded the singer as a bisexual rock star, and in recent years, the media has frequently referred to him as gay. But when music magazine NME asked Mercury in 1974, so how about being bent? Which was gay at the time. That's slang.
Oh, okay.
Mercury replied, well, that's how other people who weren't gay would refer to them, like bent.
Sure.
I think that's a British thing, too.
British slang. It's fun. Their slang is really always, like, entertaining.
Yeah.
It's cooler than ours.
Mercury replied, you're a crafty cow. Let's put it this way. There were times when I was young and... There were times when I was young and green. It's a thing schoolboys go through. I've had my share of schoolboy pranks. I'm not going to elaborate further. Huh. But then on another occasion, he answered a similar question by saying playfully, "I'm as gay as a daffodil, my dear," which I've seen that interview before. But it's so weird. But because he, like some of the artists that you guys mentioned, they would like say like, "Oh yeah, like I like women," or "Oh yeah, I do like males," or "Oh like I like both," but then they'll be like, "Oh, but I don't want to give it a label." I think, and that's kind of what he was doing, but I think a lot of it was him just not being. Well, shit, it's hard to tell. Nobody knows. I guess that's the thing. Nobody knows if it was just him not being comfortable with saying, or he didn't want to be put in a specific, group,
or just even the time and what it would do. That too. And didn't he live with a woman? He
did. Yeah. So here's the next part. So though Mercury was living with Jim Hutton, so Jim Hutton was his partner up until when he died.
Okay.
I forgot how long he was with them. 6 years, it says here. His male partner of 6 years at the time of his death, he bequeathed the lion's share of his estate to Mary Austin, which was the female, a woman he dated for a similar length of time in the 70s and remained close to. Austin still lives at Garden Lodge, a Gregorian mansion.
Gregorian?
Well, it doesn't have an R.
No,
Georgian. A Georgian mansion in Kensington where Mercury spent his final years. So here's this part. She rarely gives interviews, but told the Daily Mail in 2013 that Mercury said before he died, "If things had been different, you would have been my wife, and this would have been yours anyway." So they had this
like super close relationship.
Yeah. And he gave her that. I believe it was that lodge that they had, or that mansion. And he was like, "Had we been married, and things would have been this way, you were gonna have it anyways." Yeah. So he gave it to her anyways, even though he was with his partner, his male partner. It's crazy. But yeah, no one knows like for sure, like what.
Yeah, because he didn't label himself.
Yeah, he didn't label himself. Yeah, he did what he wanted in his relationships, and that's it. So, but yeah, I mean, apparently, even the film was very twisted, but he did have strong feelings for her, and you can see it even in that paragraph that that interview. But Freddie Mercury.
Okay.
I'm surprised no one else has said him yet. Was he on your honorable mentions?
We left him for you.
No.
We talked about it. Yeah, we talked about it, and we said, Mario's for sure going to have him on this list.
You guys. I'm too predictable.
We know you.
All right. I guess I need to start.
And Frankie left all the new wave stuff for me.
All right. Yeah. Okay, Britt, go ahead.
Okay, I have my last one.
Okay.
Is also a punk band. The lead singer of the punk band Husker Du, which is from Minnesota from the late 70s, Bob Mould. And Bob Mould was also the lead singer and founding member of the band Sugar from the 90s, early 90s. They're an alternative rock band. And yeah, it said he came out in a 1990s interview in the magazine Spin, which I miss. And that he even apparently appeared in a movie called Bear Nation, in which he self-identified himself as a bear gay man.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, don't they have that category that's like they call themselves bears?
Yeah, that's what he is.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, that's what it's about.
Saying?
Yeah.
All right.
And it says that it is in gay culture, a bear is a larger and often hairier man who projects an image of rugged masculinity.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's see. I hadn't heard that term in a while.
There was a. Sorry, I don't mean to laugh because it's not funny, but it was just like, oh, okay. There was at the salon that I used to work at. There was a man that would come in, and the license plate on his car was XL Bear.
Oh, hey.
You're like, oh, okay.
All right. So my last one, I don't know if anyone figured I was going to put him on my list or not. I kind of got that Freddie Mercury part mixed up a little bit, but he did mention his name. It wasn't, he wasn't. Anyways, Rob Halford of Judas Priest.
Yes.
No, I didn't.
I totally was like, if you're not about to say him, I'm going to say him.
All right,
because,
I got him. So it says here, I'm just going to read a couple of paragraphs from Wikipedia real quick. Halford is openly gay. In 1998, he publicly revealed his homosexuality on MTV. He broke down in tears saying, "It's a wonderful moment when you walk out of the closet. Now I've done that and I freed myself. It's a great feeling for me to finally let go and make this statement, especially to The Advocate, because this magazine has brought me so much comfort over the years. Obviously, this is just a wonderful day for me." Halford later explained that he did not have a plan or an agenda when coming in to do his interview with MTV. He mainly spoke about and promoted the Voyeurs album he made with ex-Marilyn Manson guitarist John Five when he slipped out his sexuality after being asked a question from the studio's producer. He cited it being kind of a big leap forward. This is the last part right here. At the time Halford revealed his sexuality, he was concerned that he would lose his fan base as a result. He explained that he cannot return to certain places of the world in fear of lapidation. He described the 1970s and 1980s as incredibly difficult, but not counting it as important music-wise. Halford jokingly claimed that he cannot be replaced by a straight man, bringing up late Queen vocalist Freddie Mercury, saying that if Freddie hadn't been gay, Queen wouldn't have been. That's worded wrong. Queen would have been a totally different band, which I get what he's saying. But that's a really important part of my life. that I have to get down on paper at some point. So he was just saying that, like, you know, I guess if he wasn't gay, then I guess Judas Priest wouldn't be what it
No,
was.
it's a different. Yeah,
Yeah.
It has an impact on his creativity.
Everything. And the whole image thing. Yeah,
person.
The whole leather, you know, part of it. But yeah, I mean, he was at the top of my list. I had to say it. Had to put him out there. Let's see what else. I couldn't really find anything else about like how he advocates for the community or not. Oh, Halford speaks negatively about the discrimination that the LGBT community still faces in some parts of the world. He recalled that his announcement came as a surprise and questioned if he would have told the members of Judas Priest while he was in the band. Halford said that as he completed his interview, he began to fear negative reactions, but was quickly inundated with messages of support from his colleagues and fans. So he thought he was going to be like shunned or whatever, but everybody was like fucking cool, like, you know. And I guess because of the part of the metal community that he was in, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like there was just a lot of crazy stuff going on at that time in the metal metal community, and so everyone's like, well, that's fucking cool. Like, you know, but he was still stuck in that 70s, 80s mindset of the metal, the scene in general. Right. You know, so.
Well, but also, too, I mean, if you think about it, think about all the hair metal bands in the 80s.
Oh,
you know, they were very androgynous.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And also, too, in the 90s, you know, with alternative and, you know, and also, too, with Metallica starting to do the nail polish and the eyeliner and stuff. So, I mean, the music climate was changing. Yeah. You know, so I think maybe that's when he felt safe.
Probably.
You know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, judging by it, like, I guess subconsciously he probably felt safe is why he did it, because you could tell, like, he was kind of shaky. And, of course, you know, it's a big thing. But, but yeah, no, I mean, I had to put him on there. Like I said, this whole list was just the top of my head, and I was like, yeah. So,
yeah.
It was just crazy. I mean, it was cool, little research. There was some stuff I didn't know, and I was like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
So,
cool.
So,
a lot of big, important artists.
Yeah.
And then Frank's list. No, just
got him. Hold on.
Yeah.
Nah, but okay. So, are y'all good? We're good?
Yeah.
Okay.
We got a lot of folks in there.
Okay. So next episode, I don't know when we're gonna do it. I know we've been kind of sporadic with the episodes, but next episode is gonna be 98, and it'll definitely be the Australian one.
Can we include New Zealand bands?
Yes,
we said that.
I
right?
said we could.
Okay, cool. Just double check.
No, we're gonna do that. So I didn't ask Stefan's, but if Stefan's, he can nick it if he wants, but that's cool. So that's gonna go out to him. Episode 98, 99. We're gonna do our drinking game. And then 100. We're gonna do our. Why am I not fucking thinking right now? Our true crime shit. That's what I'm gonna say. That. Yeah, true crime. So I don't know when they will come out, because we don't have it planned. Like I said, I don't even know if we're doing it next week. We'll talk about it when I turn off the mics. But next topic will definitely be Australian bands and artists. Actually, musicians and artists, I should say, because some Australian musicians are non-Australian bands. Yeah. So, but you know, people move around. You know.
Are you gonna pull some technicalities
next
week? Is that what I'm hearing?
Well,
this guy, he traveled to Australia once.
No, that's
when he
not
was
what
11.
I'm saying. No, Britt, you got it wrong. I'm saying an Australian musician who is in a non-Australian band.
Oh, I see. Okay, fine.
Yeah. Like, you know,
yes, cool. That's fine.
Learn how to play guitar. Yeah. So, anyways, all right. So we good?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, y'all be safe and all that stuff. Enjoy Pride Month. The rest of Pride Month. We got like 7 days left? Yeah, we got like 7 days left. So, we're having the parade here in town tomorrow. But guys, we'll see you guys next time. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Hope I didn't butcher shit on my end, because I was like kind of fumbling earlier. But anyways, we'll see you guys next time. Cool?
Yeah. Cheers.
All right.
Bye.
Cheers.